Do you like this song, Belle?
Some cat was laying down some rock and roll, not a soul said. Then the loud sound it seemed to fade, came back like a slow voice on a wave of fate. That weren't no DJ, that was hazy cosmic jive. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it, let all the children boogie.
Yeah, that's good. It's got some pop.
I had to phone someone, so I picked on you. Oh, hey, that's far out, so you heard him too. Switch on the TV, we may pick him up on channel 2. Look out your window, I can see his light. If we can sparkle, he may land tonight. Don't tell your papa, or he'll get us locked up and fight. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it, let all the children boogie. Starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it, let all the children boogie. Coming to you live on the air.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast, the dark side of the live stream edition. And thank you. The podcast is your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor, the voice of the cosmos. And, I forgot the rest of it, Bill, who has won and lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, the one, the only, the redhead, the mighty Bella. How are you doing tonight, Belle?
You know what? It's been a day, Scott. How are you doing tonight?
You know what? I feel so much better. I feel so much better today. I broke.
It's funny what food will do to you.
It's funny what food will do to you. Yeah, I broke my fast this morning. This is the personal part of the show where I talk about myself, and then we'll get into the bells and whistles here. Yeah, I had this morning. I want to say about 11 or 11:30. Because that took me exactly to just about 6 days. That I was going for 7. There's no fucking way, but that took me right around to 6 days. And I had a single scrambled egg and a sausage patty last night. Belle made me drink. Belle made me drink chicken broth, and let me tell you. When you've had no flavor, salt, or anything like that in your life, with the exception of a couple shots of pickle juice, when I drank that chicken broth, I thought I was in heaven. I have never, ever in my life tasted anything that good as chicken broth. It's salt. It's chicken, whatever, but there's nothing in there. But I could not believe how good that tasted. That got me through the night. So I don't know. Belle says that doesn't break the fast. So I believe her, because if anybody would know, she would know. And yeah, then I got up this morning, had a couple bottles of water, was in my right mind, and I had a scrambled egg and a sausage patty. I have never tasted sausage. Should not taste that good. I mean, and an egg, a scrambled egg, an unseasoned scrambled egg should not taste that good. But it absolutely blew me away. I could not believe how good that tasted. My tummy tolerated it. So I kind of had about half of a weird kind of taco salad. And Belle's got a new job. Belle, you got a new job. Did you know that? Do you know what your new job is?
Well, you were calling me a diabetic seeing eye dog.
She
this
is my
morning.
diabetic seeing eye dog. So if I'm not sure if I can tolerate something, I'm just going to have Belle eat it first. And we'll, because she's monitored constantly. What's her blood sugar? So we'll watch her blood sugar and see if I'm going to be able to handle it. But the other thing is she's my carb check gal. So I gave her all the ingredients that was in this kind of, even for a taco salad, this was deconstructed. I gave her all the ingredients and I said, how many carbs are in this total? And she said about 4. And it was, again, I've never tasted anything that good. So I'm back. I'm in my right mind. I'm still in ketosis. That's kind of where I want to be. And yeah, so we'll get the health benefits. I will get the weight loss that comes along with all that stuff, because that's just awesome. And then hopefully I can get my A1C down to 6 inside of a year. And if I can get it down to 6 inside of a year, then I can go right back to my old ways. I will have dropped the weight. My blood sugar is fixed. All that, you know, look at that stern look on her face. All that stuff will be dropped. I can get right back in it. And I have 20 years to fuck myself up again before, you know, the end comes around. So I'll be like 75 by then, man. Who cares? All right. I'm ready to go anyway. So yeah, that's the plan. So I got about a hard year in front of me. Not really a hard year, but I got a no carb year in front of me. And then, yeah, I can go right back to dipping French fries. I can go back to dipping French fries in nacho cheese and just smearing it all over my face, washing it down with an extra large cherry Coke. And yeah, we'll just let the chips fall. It's not my problem, though. See, it's her problem. Because then if all goes south, we can say, well, Belle didn't tell me anything. I could just default to that. I can just default to that.
Quit calling it a no carb meal, because I have gone on record now at least 4 times saying there are carbs in everything except water.
Yeah, but you said, I gave you the ingredients. You said that total thing had maybe 4 carbs in it. I had no beans. I had no rice. I had none of the other real carb stuff. It was lettuce, guacamole, a little bit of queso, big handful of cheese, tomatoes, and sour cream. How many carbs were in that salad?
I said less than 10.
Yeah, so, and I ate about half of it. So let's call it 5, and we're going to call it good. So my total carb intake for the day has been 5 or 7, because I ate a keto biscuit too. Those aren't bad, by the way. Keto biscuits are not bad. But yeah, look, man, I'm back in my right mind. I feel good. I feel strong. I feel almost reborn, man. It was the journey was hell, but coming out of it is simply glorious. So I appreciate everybody tolerating my insecurities through this whole time. But I know where I am now, and I know where I'm going. So you know what? Fuck it, man. Scott's going to go hard. The official voice of the cosmos. And I feel good about what I'm doing. So anyway, folks, we also are joined tonight by Emory. Emory, look at that camera right there, bro. We're also joined tonight by Emory, the official tokenomics, economics guy of Jackal. Emory, how are you doing tonight?
Actually better than I deserve, probably.
Is that it? Why? Why? You got to elaborate here, bro.
I have a lot of reasons to either not be here, not here, but just alive in general, and I'm still kicking. So that's a plus for me.
Okay, have you considered? Oh, and when we're doing this part, we can both look at each other.
Okay.
You don't have to stare at that. We can look at each other as we're having this conversation. The same way when I talk to Belle, I'm looking at Belle when I'm talking to her. So we're okay with that. Emery's new in studio. So yeah, he'll get used to it.
We'll adjust.
All right. So the reason that we brought Emory in here tonight, twofold. One, we haven't had Jackal on the show in a while, and Patrick doesn't answer my texts anymore. So he doesn't get back to me, man. So we still needed some Jackal. Let's be real here, man. We're the voice of the cosmos, but we're a Jackal channel. We've always been a Jackal channel. So we want to make sure that we get the team and the notes and the news and all that other stuff that's coming out of Jackal. We want to make sure that we get that out. But we're also going to be talking about some very, very general topic. Why do we purchase crypto tokens? That's going to be our sum. But before we get into that, Emory, Jackal news. Do we have any? And when you're answering this one, you can talk right to that camera.
Yeah. As everyone knows, if you've been around either the Jackal Discord or even the Telegram, we will be launching on base rather soon. There's been some holdups, just making sure that our tokens are safe, so as the base team says. But Jackal's end is ready. We're just holding on base's word to go ahead and go for it.
Have you guys made a decision? Are you going to pair with ETH or are you going to pair with USDC?
I don't have the ability to disclose that at the moment, sadly.
You can tell me, dude. All right.
Oh, if I tell you, then I'm telling everybody here.
No, nobody's listening, man. We don't get an audience anymore. You can tell me, Belle. Can you tell Belle? Can you tell Belle? Can we tell Belle? Because she's right there.
Yeah, I'll type her a secret message offline, and if she can decipher it somehow, then I'll let her tell everybody.
Oh God, you guys suck. All right, you guys are absolutely.
You know what, Emory? I might just keep that one to myself anyway, just to screw with Scott.
I'm okay with that.
You're both in cahoots against me. You guys suck. All of you suck.
Hey,
Everybody sucks.
You know what? You're trying to pull one over on me constantly, Scott. Paybacks are a bitch.
No, I do put them over on you constantly. I'm not trying to. I absolutely do. And usually you can see it because I disclose what I was doing live. So she gets this. Belle's got this perfect O face. Show him your O face, Belle. Show him your O face. Do it. Go. It's okay. Everybody's seen it. You can do it. She ain't gonna do it. We don't usually go live on Wednesday, so this is a bit different. All right, Emory, we're gonna go ahead and kind of jump into this a little bit. I have several things that I do want to talk about, but let's go ahead and start with the very basics. All right, sure. Why does a person purchase a crypto token? And how about this? We'll wrap it around Jackal. Why do people buy the Jackal token?
If you don't mind, I actually want to take a step even further back, actually. And I want to talk about what it means to invest.
Okay.
So a lot of people say you invest in this token, you invest in this stock, you invest in whatever other financial instrument. Well, what does that mean? Let's talk about cryptos and stocks. They're not completely interchangeable, but they're pretty similar. When I say I'm investing in, say, something like Jackal, that can mean a number of different things for people. It can mean, hey, I bought some tokens, I'm hoping it goes up. It can mean that I'm looking into this project and I'm hoping that it becomes promising and the team is going to work out whatever product they're putting out there. For me, when I say I'm investing in something, which is different than me saying I'm just buying a token. When I'm investing in something, it means that I am not only buying the token, I'm in the Discord, I'm in the Telegram. I want to know who's behind this product or financial product or whatever else they're selling. I want to know the team a little bit better. I want to know what their roadmap is to me, that's investing. It means I'm putting time and effort into whatever I'm doing with that particular token. And what it means to me when you say, "Am I invested in Jackal?" Before I got involved with Jackal, I would say I was invested in it to an extent. There was no token yet, but I saw the team on. They first popped up on Secret Network. I'm wearing the T-shirt.
Secret Network could have never handled this action. Dude. Our own validator set can barely handle the action that's going on in that chain.
So yeah, I first found them on Secret, and when they told me what they were doing, it wasn't the idea of storage wasn't their first priority. By the way, in case you didn't know that, but I was still invested in the team because I like what they did. I like their vision. They truly thought that they were going to change the world and how they in their product, and I'm like, I believe that as well. I want to get involved.
You're saying that like it's past tense. They believed that. Do they no longer believe that?
Well, this is kind of when I first encountered them. I'm trying to bring back some memories.
Okay.
And this is partly again why I'm wearing this Secret T-shirt.
Secret, repping, dude. I'm wearing a podcast T-shirt, so no, I get it.
Secret is the very first token I would say I've ever actually invested in, meaning that I have put money into the token. I put time in the ecosystem. I've learned who the devs were. I've learned who the product managers were, and this was the first time I'm like, I like this place, the Cosmos, specifically Secret, and that evolved into more specific things such as Jackal or any other products out there in the Cosmos. But Jackal is something, like I said earlier, I am invested in. I want to now that I am part of the team, I'm even more invested. So, but even before then, I would say I had a very vested interest in this team.
All right. Well, let me bounce something off you. So, the purpose of a token. Now that kind of matters, and I don't think it hurts to really kind of get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
So the purpose of a token, the initial launch, is typically out here because you're going to borrow from the future to finance the present. And the problem that people run into, and that pretty much the entirety of the Cosmos runs into, is that eventually you catch up to the future. Mm-hmm. And if you were selling these tokens or the initial token offering, ICO and all that stuff, and by the time you catch up to the future out here, the majority of these tokens are down 90+% by the time you finally catch up to the future, mm-hmm. because they have no product. There's nothing to monetize. The only thing you are is a token. Now, Jackal's a little bit different because Jackal's a storage protocol. It functions. It works. It's out doing its thing right now. I can't tell you how many hundreds of gigabytes that I have uploaded to Jackal. All right, tons of it. So every time I perform a transaction, I pay you guys a little bit of money for it. That's part of the process. It's not a large amount, but every time we do it, I'm paying you for it. And you guys are starting to catch up to the future. So I guess that's kind of the way I see it. I would like your viewpoint on that.
Yeah. So a couple things on that. One of the best ways to keep a token or even a team funded is by just having that external revenue. And I can probably name off only my two hands how many companies in crypto have external revenue.
Even if it's, I wouldn't even think you need both hands, man.
Maybe
you
not.
Need about a hand and a half. Look at what. You need about a hand and a half, and you want to see. Look at Belle. Look at her face. She knows. She's like, oh, she's rolling her eyes.
And that's super important, because if you're just funded by your token, then you have absolutely no recourse other than to sell your own token.
Yep.
The team has absolutely no resource to sell their own token to fund development. Developers want to get paid for their work, understandably, and if they don't have external revenue, well, there's only one other place that can come from. So what Jackal has done is, like, as we said, hey, we need a product so that people can buy this product, and we will use that money to develop our product even further, hire more devs, make the product bigger and better, so that we have the marketing advantage to be able to push this thing much further than it already is. So the external revenue is super important. The second thing I would say is very important to any team that has a token is making sure that the investors who, and I'm talking about investors who are just. I'm not talking about big angel investors who are throwing in $1 million or $2 million. I'm not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars from people who want to try to fund the team or what have you. I'm talking about investors like you and I we have a couple $1,000 who just kind of want to see where this goes and pour some in there. Keeping them in the loop. Having our town halls like we do, so they can come and say, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Where is this going to go?" It really helps the morale of the average retail investor, so that they feel comfortable holding your token. If you don't have that comfortability of the average retail investor, that's a big chunk of your audience, and having that down the toilet just doesn't bode well for any token.
I have more than a couple of $1,000.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I bet you do. I got a little bit more than that, man. So, okay, let's let me throw another one in, and then we can kind of pivot back to general. But I want to get questions from the audience if we have any. So there's a kind of a well-known chart, and I'm sure you're familiar with it. A new product launch should be about 80% distribution, 20% innovation.
Sure.
That is the way. I mean, that's literally been proven out over and over and over. Now, Jackal keeps coming up with new stuff. All right. New apps, new ideas, new use cases constantly. But if you had to, and I'm not going to hold you to it, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I want to say that Jackal right now is running about 80% innovation and about 20% distribution. So what are you guys going to do to kind of swing these numbers? Because you can keep building app after app after app and really, really cool stuff that's really pushing the boundaries of blockchain. But if nobody knows about them, what's the point? So what would you say Jackal is right now? Because I'm saying you're about 80% innovation. Every time I talk to Marston, he's got something new every single time. But you got to admit, man, out here, we're still kind of like the unknown. I mean, it's the best product in blockchain. It is hands down the best product out here in blockchain. Nobody's doing what you guys. It is truly decentralized storage. You are the only one. And I've tried them all. It is so inspiring to us that we built apps on it. And, we're fixing to release. I'm shitting my pants. I don't know if Belle shits her pants or not, but I'm doing enough for both of us. So what would you say is your innovation to distribution ratio? Because distribution is your money. Yeah. So what would you say you guys are? What would you say that you guys are?
I can't really speak to the ratio, but what I would say is two things. One, I don't believe in the if we build it, they will come philosophy. It doesn't matter if you're the best product in the world. If you don't advertise to make sure that your product is out there, then no one knows. Like, how many times have you seen the Coca-Cola commercials out there with the polar bear way back?
Everybody knows the goddamn polar bear. Belle and I make this shit all the time. We talk about this all the time. Before we even launch, we have a slogan: privacy in your pocket. That's a good slogan for the app that we built. It generalizes it enough. It's catchy. And that's it, man. We are stamping that on everything. It's on my Twitter handle. It needs to be on Belle's Twitter handle. But we're already doing all this stuff from the marketing aspect because we're an app. Mm-hmm. So we have to market. Mm-hmm. We can't even launch. I mean, we're going to launch a token because we also have to borrow from the future to fund the present. But we can't do it until we get metrics. Mm-hmm. We can't sell hope. We have to have users. We have to have retention. We have to show a good, steady growth pattern to all of these before we can even decide how much of a raise do we need. We're going to launch a token. We need to launch a token because we need to finance. I can go through traditional means. I can go through a traditional bank. I can do a lot of different things, but we want to, kick it out to the community and see if there's interest in that and people coming along on the ride with us. But we can't do it based on hope. We can't say, we're going to have 100,000 consumers. We can't say that. We have to prove that. We're an app.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, that's the big difference between L1s and why people keep launching L1s as opposed to apps, because apps require metrics. L1s just require this unknown future sometime. Hey, you know, it's going to be great. Nothing has so far, but don't you worry, it's going to be great.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
with all of that, we are pure distribution now. I mean, our innovation is done. We'll make it better. You know, we're probably going to be 95% distribution and 5% innovation. You know, we'll move forward as we get customer response and feature requests and stuff like that. That's going to be our only. That's going to be our only innovation. But we are pure distribution. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's what we have to do. So, how is Jackal going to get there?
Yeah. If I could say. If I could do this again, and I was sitting in a room with the Jackal team, saying, talking about how we're going to launch this token, how the product's going to go, I would say, let's get this product online, have it there for X amount of time, and then get a feel out there for the token. That's how I would do it. It would have given us a little bit of an easier time to market the product, and the token will follow. I think that would have followed the product because we launched that token, I think maybe a little too early. The token and then the product is what happened. But we really should have, in my opinion, I can't speak for the whole Jackal team, it probably should have been the other way around. That way we could have said, okay, this is our product, guys. Test this out, try it. You like it? Great. Well, now we might be able to launch a token. You can buy storage with the Jackal token. You can use it for its utility, whatever it may have in the future. It has several at the moment. And then we could have gone from there. So what Jackal can do right now, because that's not the case, can't take it back. What Jackal can do right now is say, hey, our product works. It works pretty darn good, and we're going to show the world that it works pretty darn good. That's our best strategy, is to push those marketing boundaries with we have an amazing marketing and sales guy, Jaden
Cody Daddy.
Yeah,
he's so much
Jaden
fun.
and Cody are great. We met Cody a little while ago, and we're like, hey, please be in our team. you have made extraordinary feats in marketing. He's designed so many things for us, and we're super happy to have him there. And he's just been our gold star for that. He's been someone that has pushed our marketing even further, because I won't say I'm the best marketer in the world. Marston's a dev. That's how he's focused. That's all his brain.
Yeah, Marston is not a marketer.
That's all
Dude.
his brain knows how to do. And Patrick, at the end of the day, he's a savvy business guy.
He's great on camera. All right, Patrick's. If I was lean that way, I'd be hitting on him. I mean, I don't.
I'm sure you take it as a
Patrick,
compliment.
hey, you know what? Unless you want to change your mind, bro, let's talk. Hey, I'm old now, man. I'm willing to explore options.
But yeah, that's how I do it.
So in hindsight, you would do what we are going to do.
Well, it's what a lot of crypto and blockchain companies are looking to do. And we were in the height of, I wouldn't say the height of Cosmos, because we launched in a bear market, but we launched when Cosmos was much larger.
It was still hot.
It was still
Let's
hot.
be real,
and,
dude. It was still
inflationary tokens were extremely popular.
Yep.
And there was a decent amount of money in Cosmos. Now, believe it or not, if you're new to Cosmos, you might not believe me, but there was a lot of money in Cosmos.
Oh man,
at one
back
point.
in the day, dude, I was getting $5,000 a day.
Yeah, it was
from
nuts,
Jackal,
huh?
from the Jackal pools with what I had in there, man. I was claiming $5,000 a day, which I just kept compounding. In hindsight, I wouldn't have compounded. I mean, come on, man. If we knew, we knew.
There were 50 odd chains in the Cosmos that were interesting, and yeah, there was a lot of money, and that's kind of why we were there, because the interoperability of the Cosmos, there was a decent amount of money in there. It was popular, and that's kind of why we settled there. And for those people who knew Jackal, way before now, you might remember that we used to be an L2 on the Secret Network, and the Secret Network was extremely popular then. Back when Eric was super involved, and we marketed that. We did a couple episodes on Secret ourselves, just because we thought it was the greatest thing.
No. I mean, hey, you know what? It's there. Here's what I've discovered. You can't market to crypto people. You can't because they don't care, dude.
It's hard.
All right. They're not here to use the product. They're here to invest and drop their tokens in or buy their tokens and expect you guys to do all the work. And that's fine, man. That's the way it is. But they're not going to use your product. They're not. Bell and I have had, how many discussions have we had about this, Bell? About how are we going to market Sigia? How long? We talk about it virtually every day.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they're nonstop.
Yes. And are we talking about our Web3 penetration of Sigia? No, it doesn't even come up, dude. I can't even get people to use it now. Have you seen the Sigia app? You want to see it?
Yeah, I have the APK downloaded.
This is how goddamn... No, the new one. This is the new one right here. Hang on. I'm going to show Emory, and I'm going to see if Emory can figure out how to use it. 1 second. Let me make sure I don't have anything really untoward on here. I do have something untoward on here. I'm going to leave it right there. All right, I'm going to show you how to use it.
Right.
You see that little button right there that says upload photos? Do you see it?
Yeah.
All right, you hit the upload photos button. You go down here and you choose something like that one right there. You say add and watch what happens. All right, that file's on its way to Jackal right now. Mm-hmm. Would you say that this is difficult to use?
Seems pretty easy so far.
Would you say that Web 2 people will understand this? Because basically all we're doing is ripping off Dropbox.
Yeah, I was about to say, it seems about the same functionality as Dropbox.
And that's all we're doing is ripping off Dropbox because we realize, look, man, we are Dropbox. But we're Dropbox with no file size limit transfers, sharing it from person to person. And because we're doing it on Jackal, because Jackal is our storage layer, all of the features that you guys built into Jackal, everything we have, because it's just a command line interface for us. Mm-hmm. So when I share a 1.4 gigabyte file with Emory, I click the file, I click who to share it with, that being Emory. By the way, you have to be an Aegis customer to use that. Ask me why we're doing that.
Why are you doing that?
Because we want people to download the fucking app. All right, that's it. Because we want people to download the app. But when I click that file and I click who to send it with, it goes to you. Now, there's 2 humans on the planet that can see that file. Me and you. That's it. Dropbox can't do that. Mm-hmm. They cannot do that. Dropbox is going to monitor it the whole way. Amazon Web Services is going to, because that's their storage layer, is going to monitor it the entire way. When I say privacy in your pocket, I mean privacy in your pocket, because Jackal built is truly decentralized private data storage. All we are doing is levering it. That's it. Now, what's good for us is good for you. Because if we get a lot of action on the app, we get a lot of people pushing data up to Jackal, that's a good thing for Jackal. Because you guys are going to have to expand way beyond petabyte, dude. You're going to have to, whatever the next level up, man. That's what we hate to put it to you. Because we are not going to get stuck in this rut. Bell, we are not going to get stuck in the goddamn rut. All right, just because we are known out here in Web3 a little bit, I don't expect very few. 1% of the total people that ever tune into this show will actually use the app. That's what I expect, because they don't care. They might get interested when we launch a Sigia token, because they know 30% of all app revenue is going to the Sigia token, because you have to. That's the only way that we can maintain buy pressure on it. But because of that, they might get interested when we launch a token, but they're not going to be interested in the app. We have to go to QAnon groups. We have to go to privacy forums. We have to go to libertarian forums. We have to go to conferences that are off the beaten path. That's where we have to go, because these are the people that are interested in this app. And we're not going to try and spend a lot of capital, a lot of effort, a lot of everything selling it to people who are simply not interested. What's the point? What's the point in us? And we got very little. I'm broke, dude. You know how much it costs to build this damn thing? It ain't cheap.
Development isn't cheap whatsoever.
So we're going to get there. All right. Anyway, Bell, we're going to carry on. But do we have any questions, comments, concerns? Is anybody even watching? I don't have it pulled up on my phone.
We've got a few people watching, but comments are just not really coming in. We've got 15 watching on YouTube. and 29 on X.
And no comments, none at all, huh?
Just a couple. Pax Banter says there's nothing as delicious as breaking a fast.
And I completely agree, sir. Thank you. Bell, carry on.
And Pax Banter also says, love the space news.
Love the what news?
The base news.
Oh, yeah, man. That's it, man. You got to go. Cosmos is that liquidity desert, dude. You can't survive out here. You just can't. And you got to go where the action is. That's where the action is. So that's really cool. All right, guys. So if you could, I don't know what camera I'm on. Please give us just a short moment here. We're going to play another song for you. I don't know what song it is. I hope it's a good one. And we will be right back. Please get in some questions or comments. If you don't, Emory and I will tangent like you won't believe, because we like talking about, we like talking about bell curves, velocity of money. We like talking about evergreen content. And if you don't keep us on point, we will drift right into that and we will lose everybody. So if you could, please give us just a few minutes. We'll be back here on the podcast on the KPOD network. Please stand by. I love this song.
I think I'm sophisticated cause I'm living my life like a good homo sapien. But all around me everybody's multiplying and they're walking around like flies, man. So I'm no better than the animals sitting in their cages in the zoo, man. Cause compared to the flowers and the birds and the trees, I am an ape man. I think I'm so educated and I'm so civilized cause I'm a strict vegetarian. But with the overpopulation and inflation and starvation and the crazy politicians, I don't feel safe in this world no more. I don't wanna die in a nuclear war. I wanna sail away to a distant shore and make like an ape man. I'm an ape man, I'm an ape man, no I'm an ape man. I'm a King Kong man, I'm a voodoo man, no I'm an ape man. Cause compared to the sun that sits in the sky, compared to the clouds that sail roll by, compared to the bugs and the spiders and flies, I am an ape man. La, la, in man's evolution, he's created the city and the motor traffic rumble. But give me half a chance and I'll be taking off my clothes and living in the jungle. Cause the only time that I feel at ease is swinging up and down in a coconut tree. Oh, what a life of luxury to be like an ape man. I'm an ape man, I'm an ape man, oh, I'm an ape man. I'm a King Kong man, I'm a voodoo man, oh, I'm an ape man. I look out the window but I can't see the sky. The air pollution is a fucking up my eyes. I wanna get out of this city alive and make like an ape man. La la la
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. You see that nifty banner down there?
I like it.
Yeah, Ian made it. Ian made it for me instead of
Really?
Nice. Yeah. All right, dude. So clearly we have no interest in Jackal today, which is a little bit odd.
We do have two questions that came in over break.
That Bell's going to ask him. Hit it.
G. Torres, there will be arrow rewards for ETH Jackal on Aerodrome?
Yeah, so that's up to the base team. So when they finish auditing our token, which is taking a long time. When they get done with that, they'll tell us, hey, we can do base rewards, we can't do base rewards. So actually, none of the Jackal team knows at the moment. So I don't even know. And I'd tell you if there were, but we don't know.
You would tell us. He knows. He could tell us shit. Go ahead, carry on, Bell.
Second one coming in from Micah.
Micah
likes Jackal. Has there been any conversation around how this can be used by enterprises and novel applications beyond just consumer file storage?
Now, before you answer that, let me elaborate. Are you familiar with Opolis?
Opolis?
Yes. We've had Micah on the stream 2 or 3 times. We've talked it to death. Did you miss those streams? Were you sick that day?
I possibly may have missed those streams.
Okay. So Opolis is going to be the one to watch. I'm letting you know that right now.
All right.
And you keep asking. Patrick keeps asking. You keep asking. Everybody keeps asking. Is there anybody that's interested in Jackal, any enterprise that we should be talking to? You need to talk to Micah. Bell, does Jackal need to talk to Micah?
Well, I mean, Micah is already talking to Sigia, so if Jackal doesn't want to talk to him, well...
So one of us is going to be their enterprise solution. It will be Jackal or it will be Sigia. But I will give you his contact information, and you guys are going to need to talk to him. And if you need medical insurance right this very moment, he's going to hook you up for about $330 a month. This is for something through Cigna or Blue Cross, Blue Shield, whatever. But he's going to hook you up for about $330 a month. And guess what, Emory? You can pay in crypto. They have that capability, man.
We like that.
As far as bringing enterprises together, you guys need to reach out to Opolis.
Yeah, we definitely have to get in contact. But yeah, to answer your question, Jackal. The way Jackal is built, it is built very well, actually, for B2B services. Our initial drive word was backups, right? Storage is a byproduct of backups. So if you want to back up large amounts of data for DR, disaster recovery, that's what Jackal was built for. So B2B was a huge focus of ours. And then when storage came along for easy consumer use, we did focus a little bit more on that because it's pretty easy to market that particular product. But yeah, Jackal is actually built for B2B enterprises.
You know, you guys keep saying that's the purpose of it, is disaster recovery, man. I with the speed that you can get on Jackal that you can't get anywhere else. There are so many other applications for this. Dude, I put out videos, man. I'm downloading 600 megabyte files in about 12 seconds. Mm-hmm. I want you to show me anywhere in this blockchain space that I could do that.
I'd love to know where else.
Dude, that's a 24 to 36 hour download for me to get that file back. With Jackal, it's 12 seconds.
Yeah, we've had this discussion numerous times at the consensus. Actually, not long ago, a lot of people were looking for blockchain storage, and Filecoin is pretty well known out there. And then when we say we do storage, and we're like, oh, so like Filecoin, and we're like, yeah, but a little bit better than that. Instead of taking 12 hours to download your single video or JPEG, it takes 12 seconds.
It takes 12 seconds to do a run Jackal, man. I am still so shocked that you guys are not leaning into that a little bit more, man. The speed of the transfers is amazing. And the way that you designed it is simply fantastic for Sigia, for us. All right, look, man, we are uploading files to Jackal can be a pain in the ass. It just is what it is, man. RPC issues, all that shit comes up. Uploading to Jackal is a pain in the ass. But because Siggy is doing it all on the back end, the consumer will never know. We are literally sending them to our file server, which is lightning fast. And then we are William Wallace sieging York, trying to batter that thing down and pushing those files up to Jackal. But the consumer never knows it. But once we get them up, and once they go over to a storage provider, after that, we're not even dealing with Jackal. We are just dealing with the storage provider. Now, I know that you guys are kind of in the storage provider business. I open the console and every single file I upload, and as long as it's going to your providers, I'm like, shit, we're good, man. We're good. And those are the ones that I use to test and make videos and shit like that. So, yeah, man, I really wish that Jackal would lean into what Jackal can do as opposed to look how cool we are. I wish they would just, I really wish that you guys would lean into that, because you're doing shit that is unheard of in Web3.
Yeah, I actually think that's I think that's a byproduct of having your team made up of 90% devs.
Right.
Because they're extremely, and it's not because necessarily that devs are bad at marketing. It's because they're super focused on making something interesting, very cool, very innovative. So that's kind of what they pride themselves on, is just having that, I built this amazing thing, look at it. And that's not quite marketing.
No, again, dude, 80% distribution, 20% innovation. You guys are completely bass backwards on that. Even now, even though you have functional products out there, you're still completely bass backwards on that. All right. You are 80% innovation. Every time I talk to anybody on Jackal, it's always going to be so, hey, look at this. Look what we built. Look what we're building. Look what else is coming up. Mm-hmm. And I keep leaning back to, yeah, but why aren't you pushing the products that exist right now? The things that work. Why aren't you distributing these things? Because if you have 80% distribution as opposed to 20% distribution, we're having a different conversation right now.
Yeah, and well, one of those, I can speak to part of that. So right now, I would say we're pretty well known in the Cosmos area. I wouldn't say that most of our efforts have went to Web2 people, but we started off in Cosmos, and we really wanted to push the people who were in crypto, the people who were in blockchain, to use this thing. And honestly, because we're super well known in Cosmos, we're actually quite saturated in the Cosmos market.
Oh yeah.
Even though like we don't have a huge presence elsewhere, like Cosmos, everyone in Cosmos knows Jackal. We're spread pretty densely there. So breaking to the outside, appealing to people outside of Cosmos, because we're about to enter the ETH world pretty soon, which is a much larger, much more vibrant market, we think. Entering that ETH world will give us a whole new audience to appeal to, and once we appeal to that audience, we're able to break through into more traditional services such as Web2. If you're a deep degen in Cosmos, Web2 is a little boring. Web2 is a little boring. I remember first getting into Cosmos, and that's all I did was I was on blockchain websites, and when I went back to signing into Google, I'm like, well, where's my wallet sign in? You kind of forget about Web2 a little bit, and that just happens when you're kind of deep into that. But the people who are involved more in ETH and Bitcoin and more of those traditional tokens are a little bit less like that, and we can appeal to them a bit easier.
I think that's fantastic. And by the way, Micah, if you're still watching, Siggy, we're in full test mode right now, brother. If you'd like to beta test for us, please get with Belle, give her your Apple ID. I will make sure that you get the invite. And if you like what we're doing over there, let's have a meeting. Let's sit down and let's talk bespoke, because we're perfectly capable of bespoking a front end just for Opolis. If you can see a good use case for the mobile version of Jackal, we will bespoke you a front end. I'm going to ask for money. I mean, we're weird like that, dude. We want to do business with you, but I'm broke. So let's bespoke you a front end. And now, not only are you in the medical records business, man, but you're in the privacy business, which is really a place that medical records should exist. Belle, look, this is your world. medical records and transactions and all that other shit, man. This is absolutely your world. So I'm not going to counter anything you say, because the fuck do I know? You know it. I don't have to know it. Belle knows it. So, Belle, look, can we do business with Opolis? I mean, are we something that they could utilize?
We've already determined that the answer to that is yes.
Yeah, I know, but I want it public. I want it all out there. So let's hear it again, Belle. Yes, we would be an ideal solution for Opolis.
Especially with the background I have in the medical insurance industry, handling specifically medical records.
Now,
Yes.
what was
Yes,
that?
we would be a benefit to Opolis.
What was that thing you were telling me about? I don't remember, hon. You talk fast sometimes. But the data hosts, the things that you have hosting medical records, there's some kind of very, very specific criteria that they have to meet.
They have to have HIPAA certification and HIPAA compliance.
Okay. How does one get HIPAA certification and HIPAA compliance?
You submit your protocol for review, and then you get an agency to sign off that you are HIPAA compliant.
Okay. So say I was...
And it costs quite a bit of money.
Okay. But say I was...
Your entire protocol, from the hardware it's on to the program itself, has to be HIPAA compliant.
So we need all that before we can host medical records.
Yes.
All right. So let me ask Mike a question before I start talking investment and how we go about this. I'm very friendly with some of the storage providers on Jackal that have very, very good hardware. Plus, they're ready to scale. Is this something that you would be using to host? I'm asking Micah directly. Is this something that you are going to be using to host medical records, privacy information, all that other stuff that has to do around medical? Because if you do, we need to talk, but I need to know approximate volume that you guys are be going. Now, I know you're looking for 100,000 consumers by the end of the year. That was the number that you gave us last time. And that's a lot of consumers, dude. But we need to know if it's going to be in our interest to make sure that we get the HIPAA compliance on these storage providers so that you can use this as a bespoke front end or a bespoke front end and back end. So we need to know about all that stuff. So, man, if you want to type it in the comments and we can discuss it, I would certainly appreciate it. Anyway, Belle, is there anything else, or are me and Emory really going to go off the rails here?
G. Torres, are there any institutional deals that have been made recently for Jackal storage? Can we get a list of all companies that are using Jackal storage on the Jackal webpage that is easily visible?
There are two good answers for this. One, I don't know all the B2B companies that are using Jackal, and two, unless they make a deal with us, so to speak, we wouldn't know in the first place. That's kind of how Jackal was built.
That's kind of the point.
That's kind of how Jackal was built. I don't know all of the details about our B2B dealings. That's more of the business development team, and Patrick is extremely responsive on the Telegram. I would highly suggest you ping him. He will respond to you about our B2B dealings and kind of who's in there and what we're talking about to those particular companies. But unless they come to us, we don't know. I don't know.
Wait, so you don't know what enterprise companies you guys may or may not be hosting?
I do know a few,
okay,
because they've come to us, and that was pretty early on in Jackal days. I'm not sure what our current business dealings are. Again, that's not really my realm of expertise in Jackal. But
I'm about to say, what would you say you do here?
I do a lot of stuff.
Space, bro. Yeah. What would you say you do here?
I do three things. Okay. I do Jackal economics. I do a lot of our infrastructure, making sure that Jackal servers are running for whatever we need technology wise, and I do administration for those.
Are you the RPC guy too?
I can be.
All right. Need to those fucking RPCs, dude. I am sick to death. When I click log in, I want to be logged in. I don't want to sit there and look at that circular of death. By the way, I got a real good hookup with Anchor. So if you guys need to expand out into decentralized RPCs, I can put you in touch with the guy right now.
Yeah. Jackal does have like an RPC. We have to go find it because we don't advertise it, but the RPCs are mostly hosted by the community. So if an RPC isn't working, coming to Jackal saying RPCs aren't working isn't super helpful. So
I don't want to have to do this
it's one
anymore.
of those things. We try to keep things as decentralized as possible. Even though we know that the public good isn't always extremely public or necessarily that good.
Well, bro, Anchor is decentralized RPC.
Yeah, we actually looked at decentralized RPCs a while ago with I don't know if you remember a thing called Lava Network.
I remember Lava. Sure.
They had decentralized RPCs, and they were going to ask for more money than we were willing to put up to spin up all those RPCs. And we definitely understood what they were trying to do. We knew that I'm pretty sure a few networks do use Lava at the moment. I'm not sure how thriving they are, but yeah, we couldn't quite give up that kind of capital just for RPCs.
Would you like to talk to Anchor? I got a direct hookup.
I'm willing to talk to most people.
Beautiful.
So
I will make sure you get his contact info and you guys go ahead and do your thing. Belle, if you could, please carry on.
All right, so next one coming in from Idiot Fish. Will Jackal be doing a token sale in conjunction with the funding of the base pool? Sorry if already talked about.
Yeah, currently there are no plans for a token sale on the base pool. We will be putting tokens in a base pool paired with some Ethereum token, but at the moment there are no plans for a token sale. We've looked at token sales before, and we'd like to. We've looked at other platforms that do them in the Cosmos, and a lot of them take a huge haircut from those sales, and we're trying to keep as much capital as we can.
You cannot. Yeah, don't fuck this up. We're on the razor's edge here. All right, carry on, Belle, please.
All right, Micah, let's say Coinbase was using Jackal to store member data instead of whatever cloud provider they're using. How would the recent data leak perhaps have unfolded differently? Perhaps a social hack could still happen through bribe, but would the damage have been limited?
That's a good question.
The damage wouldn't have been limited. It either would have happened or not have happened. When you get, like, let's say I'm running a storage provider, I'm kind of walking through how the storage providers work. When I'm running a storage provider, and the files are on my server, I could download those files if I wanted to. They're all encrypted via AES 256.
I mean, they're
256-bit encryption. So even if I downloaded them and opened them, it'd just be a bunch of garble, right? So if someone got a hold of that data and decided to try to do something with it, it would take them tens of thousands of years of computing power to try to do anything about it. A lot of people bring up quantum encryption to ask if that can be broken, and well, the answer would be yes, but Jackal would probably be the least of your concerns if quantum computing is introduced to break encryption. So that point, although valid, is not really necessarily a concern of ours. We don't currently have the technology, Jackal, or really any other encryption service to just beat quantum encryption breaking. That's not going to happen.
Movie, dude, from a long time ago, a movie called Sneakers. Belle, do you remember a movie called Sneakers? It had Robert Redford in it.
I do remember that movie.
Yeah, remember it was all about the little box, Too Many Secrets, that little box that broke any encryption. Dude, if we could break encryption, the world as we know it ends.
Yeah,
I mean,
it would not be
instantly.
Good.
It's all over. We're talking about data Armageddon on a level that nobody could even possibly that anybody could even possibly perceive. If everything got dumped out like that, if they could actually do it, that's it, man. The world as we know it ends. So
the only way I can conceivably see any kind of data leaks is if your computer or browser is already compromised, because this data is encrypted at the browser level. So it's encrypted by your browser and then sent to our decentralized cloud. So if browser is compromised in any kind of way, or your PC is compromised in any type of way, that is, I guess, possible. But even then, it's a pretty slim chance. So I wouldn't say that it would have been. I wouldn't say the liability would have been limited. It just wouldn't have happened. So that's the only possible way. Unless someone, you give someone your keys to the data, then
you just gave me you just kind of encrypted it, dude.
Yeah, it just either would have
way.
happened or wouldn't have. There wouldn't be a whole lot of middle ground.
Nah, it's binary on this one, man. Either everything was compromised or nothing was compromised, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Period. All right, carry on, Belle, please.
All right, Micah. HIPAA requires, too, that files are stored in the U.S. Can Jackal let me choose the location of where my docs are stored? This is my only concern. ZK should pass privacy.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. We've been talking about this for well over a year now about geofencing storage providers. Mm-hmm. So as of is it possible with our current technology? Yes, it is. Can we enforce it across the whole network at the moment? Not necessarily, unless we build in a few more things. But the technology to be able to geofence where the data goes is definitely there. We don't have at the moment, we don't have a big enough enterprise to say, hey, if you can keep this within this, 1,000 miles square radius, then we can do this. It's the development time to add in those extra things for making sure that that's compliant would be a little difficult. Also, if I'm not mistaken, the servers that store that data also have to have some kind of compliance in them, and we can't enforce that. So I'm not entirely sure the inner workings of HIPAA, but I'm fairly certain that's the case. But to answer your question directly, yeah, we do have the capability of geofencing data.
Well, the entire thing would have to be bespoke for that customer.
Yeah,
that's whitelist, dedicated
and
providers.
that's why Jackal is a sovereign L1. The code base is on GitHub. You can pull it and download it yourself, and then make your own Jackal chain if you wanted to, and just distribute it to certain computers or laptops across the U.S. That is 100% doable. That's how anyone builds on Jackal. They download the code base, and then they make their own modifications. That is absolutely doable.
Yeah, but Opolis is not in the data storage business. They're in the medical insurance business. They want you to take care of that little element.
And that can absolutely be done. We'd have to know a little bit about your business, and where data can be stored and where it can't be stored, and and the transit of that data. But absolutely possible.
Oh, and I guarantee you guys would make it happen. I guarantee you
Absolutely
that Signia would make it happen if that's what was necessary. You're talking about a major enterprise customer, man. You're talking about some the up and comer, man. The people who are going to shake up this industry. Yeah, I want to be partners with you, Micah. I know we already kind of shook hands, man, but we're getting ready to release, by the way. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what we can do for this. Belle, if you could, please, hon, carry on.
And Micah, storing medical records is totally possible in our new model. I'd need to be able to onboard my claims processor to it. So maybe some rollout time horizon as they learn USDC-backed claims first. Yes.
Oh my God, dude, if you could get, I know they got processors. I know, because Belle used to do that. That was her gig. So anytime it comes up to processing, review, investigation, calling bullshit, throwing the flags, that's what Belle did. If you get one of those if you get a processor on board, dude, you're good. I'm just saying, you're good. We don't have to worry about too many other people, man.
It wouldn't be super difficult to do either. So that's the nice thing about how we've kind of built things in the blockchain in general. Claims, and I don't know a whole lot about claims, to be honest, but I would imagine that claims would be so much easier on the blockchain. And the reason I think that is because of that immutable ledger. In order for a claim to be valid, certain conditions have to be met, if I'm not wrong, Bella. And if you have those certain conditions, the client says, yes, this happened, no, this didn't happen, and there's no takesies backsies on the blockchain. You either said that this condition was met or it wasn't, and and you can go look back in the record saying, yes, the client said that, this happened and the claim was therefore eligible, and that's why we paid out the money. But if they try to say no, something didn't happen, or yes, it did, and they're lying about it, it's easy to find.
Is that correct, Belle? You go ahead. I'm not going to say shit. You go ahead. You do you, bro.
Yeah, no. Okay, so if a patient has medical coverage with you, the first thing that is sent over to that insurance company from their employer is an eligibility file.
Yeah, exactly.
if that's programmed into the system correctly, then claims that are before that eligibility active date, they automatically get denied, as they're supposed to. I mean, there's a lot more detail that goes into it than that. It's a little more complicated than you think.
Well,
now, some things can be done automatically.
Such as?
Yeah.
You can't just leave that out there. Such as?
You get a claim for a routine physical that's covered 100% by insurance. Well, that up to a specific dollar amount can be programmed into the system and just run through.
Yeah, so the easy stuff, right? So if it's like as you said, it's under a certain dollar amount, that's easily programmed into really anything, and the claim is just immediately processed. So that sounds like the easy part.
That's another part of what I did. I actually programmed those algorithms to be able to do just that. And if it was a contracted provider, I mean, contract logic had to be programmed in.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that's what's great about having a Bella. All right, she's not only my carbohydrate C&I dog, but she's also the reason that I could talk to Micah comfortably, because I'm like, if he hits me with something, I'm just gonna go, "What do you think about that, Belle?" Because I don't fucking know, but she does. That's what's the joy of a relationship like this. It's fantastic. All right, 2 questions for the audience before we carry on. One, are you guys okay with the Jackal banner? Because Coney Daddy made this specifically for us, for this show, for that stream right there. And what do you guys think about that? And the other one is I switched up the audio again. All right, I've refined it. I've made it better. But we got a lot of bass on this run right now. And with Emory's deep voice, I mean, I want to see, is Emory causing the brown note? Because I got this bass so cranked up on this thing, and he's already got a bad deep voice. Is anybody feeling like they're about to shit their pants? Because I could turn it down. So if you guys could answer that one or root in on that, I would appreciate it. Belle, please carry on.
All right, that was actually yeah. So Micah actually chimed in saying, "Thanks for data location storage specifics. Give me HIPAA encrypted files in the U.S. and I give you users."
It's easy. Yeah, I'd be happy to talk with you. I'm extremely available on Discord and Telegram. But if you want to give me your information, I'm Emory at jackallabs.io. If you want to email me, otherwise I can try to find you on Discord.
And I want you guys to think about this. That's everybody who's listening tonight. The reason that we're in Web3 is for the ethos. All right, deep down, I'm in it for the ethos. I'm in it for the privacy.
Scott, no dying.
I'm all right. I got a weird hit on my cigarette. We're still in this for the ethos. I understand that the 98% of crypto is simply in it for the money, but I see the payoff in the ethos. I still believe that all the way down. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm invested the way I'm invested. We're building what we're building because we still deep down believe in the ethos. And there's things that we can do in blockchain that can only be done in blockchain. Technically, Dropbox could never compete with us. From features, from the features, the privacy element, and the things that we can do that Dropbox simply can't do. So technically, they cannot compete with us. They cannot do the things that we can do. The only reason that we can do them is because we're in Web3. Now, eventually, Jackal's going to crack that 1.96 gigabyte file size limit. And when they crack that, we effectively blow everybody out of the water. That's anybody in both blockchain and trad. We can blow anybody out of the water. But the idea that our entire stack is Web3, but you'll never know it. I want to see the same thing for Opolis. I want to see the same thing for Opolis. We're talking about a Web3 company that is Web2 facing, that is using nothing but a Web3 stack. All of that is possible right now. All of it is possible. We have the parties. We're getting them together. And this is the thing that's going to change up the way people look at Web3 technology. It's not going to be about meme coins. It's not going to be about Bitcoin. It's not going to be about, hey, come in here, $100 to a Lambo in 3 weeks. Don't you worry about it. It's not going to be that shit anymore. It's going to be, oh my God, do you see what they're doing over there in Web3? Now, there's some teams that are sticking to the ethos. Jackal is one of those teams that is sticking to the ethos. I have never, ever once heard a single Jackal employee say, buy Jackal tokens. I've never heard them utter those words, because the Jackal token is the fuel for the engine. The protocol is the engine. And what the protocol can do, nobody else in Web3 can do it. It's not even close. I've looked at all of them. And aside from Jackal, there are no truly decentralized storage platforms out here. Everybody has a hole. Filecoin, for God's sakes, uses a Google bridge. All right. Right at that moment, your data is compromised. Your data is compromised the very second you hit send. It might look cool. It's sharded. It's sent all over the world. But it's also, Google has a copy of it the very second that you send it up, because they have to. It's called the Data Retention Act. They have to do it. I don't know if Canada has a Data Retention Act, but the U.S. sure as shit does. But Jackal's a Canadian company. That's the joy of what we do, is the fact that we are resellers. Sigia itself is a reseller of a Canadian company, means that we don't fall under the Data Retention Act, because all we're doing is reselling a product that's built in Canada. This is the joy of Web3. This is what you can do if you're not sitting there just staring at it. Now, look, guys, I love to scalp. I love to buy low, sell high, the same as anybody else, because I need capital to build the real cool shit, the ethos-backed cool shit that's going up here in Web3, and nobody else can do it. Nobody else can do it. So sure, I'd love to play the markets. I'd love to leverage. Some of this shit is so stupidly obvious that I'm a little bit shocked that people aren't doing better. But there's so much potential out here if you stick to why we started doing this in Web3 as opposed to doing it in Web2. It would have been a hell of a lot easier for Jackal to have built this out in trad as opposed to Web3. It would have been a hell of a lot easier. But they didn't. They're sticking to the ethos of it. And that's what I'm about. Opolis is going to stick to the ethos of what we are and what we can do. And when they have a fully Web3 stack as their back end all the way up and down it, then they have the best of both worlds, man. They're appealing to Web2 with a Web3 stack, Web3 infrastructure. Sigia, appealing to Web2 with a Web3 stack. Jackal, eventually, when they decide, fuck it, we're going after consumers, will be a completely Web2 facing company with a Web3 stack. That's the way it's going to be. I'm 100% convinced of that. And that's why I'm sticking to my guns. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why Bell and I are still going on 3, 4, 5 times a week to try to make sure people understand where we're coming from, and so that we don't lose the vision. That's the problem, is so that we don't lose the vision of why we're in Web3 to begin with. So with that, if we have no other questions, Bell?
All right, 2 comments. One from Idiot Fish saying loved banner, and G Torres saying banner and audio is fine.
Oh, good. I'm glad about that, man. I wasn't sure.
No one's hitting the brown notes. That's great.
Nobody hit the brown note.
Yeah, and the comments that did appear, for the most part, that appeared during the stream on X, yeah, I'm ignoring those, considering the poster actually accused us of racism for having Emory on the show. So yeah.
What? Wait a minute. No,
Is this the second
I want
time?
you to read the. I'm telling you.
No.
Read the
No,
comment.
I am not.
I'll go
going
to X and I'll read it myself.
You go ahead and do that. I am not wasting my time acknowledging this tool.
I'm
Wow.
okay. I don't
It
know
never
what to do.
fails on this stream.
I don't know what to do about
It never
that
fails.
one. I mean, should Emory and I make out a little bit?
I'm cursed on this show.
Should we make out a little bit, or is that going to be I'm making out with Emory to prove that I'm not racist or gay? I can't win this. This is Kobayashi Maru, bro. There's nothing I can do about this. I have Emory on the show because he works for Jackal. Because we have been partners for a long fucking time out here in this space. We've been through highs, we've been through lows, we've been through the war. I have him on the show because I like the guy. We do Red Fairs together. I mean, it's all the way up. The only issue I had with Emory tonight was lighting him. Do you know why I had trouble lighting you, Emory?
I remember why.
It's because you're wearing a black shirt against a black.
You're wearing
backdrop.
black trousers, a black
I don't
shirt.
look good on pastels. It just doesn't work.
God, man, we're gonna put him in a. Oh, if we put him in a white T-shirt next time, how would he glow then? Man?
Yeah, that wouldn't look. I think that would be worse. It's like it'd be worse.
All right, yeah. So we're huge racists. I get it. Thank you for the comment. There's no way to win, Bell. There's absolutely. And Bell's wearing a black T-shirt. I'm the only person who's up here representing my fair skin. Bell got all that Cherokee in her, so when she puts on black, she looks very olive skinned. I don't know. Is that racist for mentioning that, Bell? I don't even know anymore.
I don't care.
Okay.
If it doesn't bother me, why should it bother anyone else?
And Belle's a Cherokee, so I'm allowed to say that, and she's okay with it. So, hey, we're cool with it. Thank you for the racist comments. I will bring that up on Rack FM tomorrow. How could I not, Belle? He loves that shit.
I'll join you to bring.
Thank you. Yeah, and copy paste the comment because we want to read it on.
I feel
Rack
like I should
FM.
be there on those kind of things where you.
We have such a good time over there. Man. I don't know how the
And Micah actually says, "I'll make out with Scott on the stream if necessary to secure HIPAA compliance."
Dude, you know what? With your mustache, have you seen Mike? Have you ever seen? You never seen?
I've never
Dude,
seen him.
He's
No.
got this perfect handlebar mustache. he fixes it with earwax. He was on the stream and we watched him do it. He did this thing and then did this, and it's a perfect handlebar. I've never made out with a man ever, but if I had to make a choice, I'd want a guy with a handlebar mustache. I don't know
they
why,
look nice.
just because it's
They
unique.
look nice.
Man.
Yeah, you look fancy.
Well, bro, it's a bold statement these days. I love anybody who has that kind of confidence to wear that around. I'm gonna get a tape on handlebar mustache for Belle, and I want her to wear it on one of the streams just to see if anybody says anything. I bet they don't have the balls. She's up here with a handlebar mustache. The girl's got like no body hair at all. I think that'd be hilarious. With again with the knife. She's. You know what? Should I? You want me to grab the falchion? I ain't afraid of you. So yeah, thank you. I'm racist. There's no way I'm going to win this.
I'm just saying this is one of the reasons that people won't say anything.
Is that because you're armed? I got a whole weapon rack right here. I mean, I got a whole weapon rack.
I publicly have stabby tendencies, so I mean, there's a reason Emory and I don't fight anymore.
Yes, there is.
And anybody in the Iowa area, we're all going to be out at the Amana Renaissance Festival this weekend. Do drop by. It's the best Renaissance Festival in Iowa. It's a good one. A lot of merchants, a lot of fun. You can watch Emory go and get his ass kicked. It's a good time. And Bella and I will be there doing medic duty, medic and security duty. Belle's more a medic than security. I'm more security than medic because Belle's 130 pounds and she ain't stopping shit. So I'll take care of that part.
I'm pretty sure Emory can verify I am much nastier than most people think I am.
Yeah, once you're on top of somebody, it's kind of relentless. I've seen it. I've seen it.
That sounds sexual. Are you allowed to do? If I get called racist, I could point out harassment.
Well, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I've just heard stories.
I just heard that's all it takes, Bell. It's the stories. All right, then, guys. If we got nothing else, let's turn it over to Emory. He can have the last say, and then Bell is going to talk us up, going to take us out of here.
Are we out already?
What's that?
Are we out already?
Dude, we're over an hour, man. We're way into this. Wow. It goes quick when it's the three of us, man. This shit just blazes by. So go ahead, Emory. We're on camera 2. So go ahead and say your say, and then we'll turn it over to the Bell.
Happy to be on the stream again, guys. I think the last time I was here was maybe just a few months ago. But if you don't know me, then I'm hoping to be able to be on the stream a little bit more often, like maybe once a month or so. That'd be great. I'm down here in the area with Scott about once a month. So maybe I can be on the stream a little more often. But thank you guys for having me on. Thank you so much for the Jackal questions. I know I could answer some of them directly, but also I couldn't pin down a few of them. But if you don't know where to find Jackal answers, we have a Telegram, we have a Discord, and if the team doesn't get to you right away, the people who are super involved in Jackal will answer you almost immediately. There are ways to find answers to things pretty quickly in our Discord or Telegram. We're happy to have you there, and we're just looking for people who are, like us, who want more privacy in their lives. So we want to promote that particular ethos. That's why we're in it in the first place. If we were in it for really any other reason, there were way easier ways to do this.
Or for anybody who wants privacy in your pocket.
Yeah,
you like
absolutely.
that? I'm going to hit the round of applause. For anybody who wants privacy in your pocket, it's right here, man. We're still looking for some alpha testers. So anybody who would like to test the app for us, Bella at ThePodocasts.com. All we need is your Apple ID, bro. I will send you out the invite. I do need the Apple ID. So if you'd like to test for us, please let her know. We've been putting it out. We've gotten 5. That's it. We're looking for 20, and we've only gotten 5 people that are even interested in testing this shit. If it doesn't work, man, I'm going to the go into the reserves, and I'll get all the testers I want. But I want Web3 people testing it because I want Web3 feedback. I want them to say, wow, this doesn't seem right, man. This is just too easy. That's what I want. I'm like, okay, then we got it. We nailed it. All right, Emory, cannot thank you. This is when you look at me. I cannot thank you enough for joining us, brother. It was a good time, man. We got to make this
I love being here. That hour flies by.
It goes so quick, dude. We could do 2-3 hours standing on our heads. Next time we'll get more into the philosophy.
I would love that.
Yeah, I know, because that's your thing. And nobody's going to invite you on a show to talk philosophy. But
No,
this guy,
nobody.
will. So with that, Belle is going to talk us up. Belle is going to take us out, guys. I had a wonderful time. Appreciate it. Belle, you know the drill.
All right, again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys and the comments and questions you throw our way. Now, with that being said, we are going to be back on tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard. If you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either Scott or myself, Scott at ThePodocasts.com or Bella at ThePodocasts.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you next time.